Soon a new challenge appeared. A tall rocky slope blocked their way, but the man remembered there was no slope on the map, because in the harsh Arctic, maps could not be perfectly accurate. Now they had only two choices: climb the steep slope, or go around the snowy mountain another way. If they chose the second, they would walk nearly 3 times farther. It was a difficult choice. Climbing the slope would lead to a flat open road. If the man went alone, he could reach the destination quickly, but he swore he would live with the woman together, no matter what. He decided to try. He first pulled the supplies up with the sled. Since they were light, he succeeded easily. Next was the woman, but when the sled was halfway up, he could not pull anymore. Even though he gave his all, the sled would not move. He almost got dragged down himself, so he had to choose the second way. Thus he led the woman to hike around the snowy mountain. The raging Arctic storm greatly increased their difficulty, and from long exposure to snow and wind, the woman's health grew worse. She could not even clench her fists anymore. Even drinking water became hard. Her eyes showed red rashes, and blood seeped from her lips. But worse, her wound was severely infected. The man knew she might not make it to the destination. He placed their family photo in her hand, and gently wiped the blood from her lips. The rest of the journey could only be done alone. At that time the man saw a blooming flower on the ground. He wondered how it survived in such a harsh place, when suddenly his foot slipped, and he fell into a cave. When he woke again, his legs were stuck tightly in the rocks. He tried to pull them out, but they were stuck too tight. The man lost control. Why did bad things always happen to him? Was he really going to die trapped here in darkness? But soon he pulled himself together. He had already finished most of the journey. He was close to rescue. No matter what, he could not give up here. Even if he died, he would die on the road. He used all his strength to pull his legs. Over and over the man endured, the pain of his thighs tearing, until he finally pulled free. But he had no time to treat the wounds, because the urgent thing now was to escape the cave. Fortunately, he soon found an exit. Then the man hurried without delay, and returned to the woman. He wanted to take her gloves, but her hand gripped tightly. He turned and saw she was not dead. Her condition had even miraculously improved. He could no longer hold back his emotions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The man decided no matter what happened later, as long as she still had a breath, he would never give up. He treated his wound with ice and snow, then limped while taking the woman forward again. Although he did not know what lay ahead, the man believed light would eventually shine on them. After more than 10 days of hardship, they finally went around the snowy mountain. The man threw away all supplies, ready to use his last bit of strength. But just then, a helicopter appeared in sight. He could not believe it and ran down, pushing the sled and the woman up with all his might. Then immediately began calling for help. The man took out his last glow stick, and waved it with all his strength. But his cry for help was so small in the snowy mountains, before they could hear, it vanished into the air. He knew both of them were injured. It was impossible to reach the research station. This helicopter was the only chance. He lit his cotton coat, risking everything, but even after the clothes burned out, they still did not see them. Watching the helicopter